What's going on, guys? We're back with another episode of Tokyo Ghoul Dark War. Just wanted to make sure my mic was on. Okay, and we had a huge update. So, let us hop right into the update and we will check out all the new stuff and hopefully all the new characters. I'm going to read all of them with you. I skimmed over them pretty much. But for the most part, I have not looked at them in depth or anything. So it's going to be fairly new for me as well. Let me use some of my arena attempts though. I do want to say, I'll cut this part out. So actually, I'll just see you in a second. Okay, we're back. And we are going to take a look at the new characters right as soon as I open up some stuff. And I do want to talk about everything that happened in this update. There's some stuff that I like. There's some stuff that I don't like. Mostly stuff that I like, though. I don't know about you guys, but it seems like since this update, these boxes, the orange ones specifically, have been giving out good stuff. Better stuff. I don't know if that's been the case for you guys or what, but I've been getting better stuff. Which is pretty nice. So garbage. Not garbage, but you know, I could have sworn that I should have gotten 4 of those though. Oh wait, what? Oh yeah, I should have 4 of these. I got 2 for second place in Ghoul Expulsion and 2 for second place in damage and contribution. Let's see, contribution I should have gotten 2. Oh, this is 1 for Arima, and this one is, they're both for Arima. Okay, so they did go to this one. I did have 10 left, so yeah, that makes sense. Okay, real quick, I'm going to cut out again because I forgot to do this, and I need to keep up on this now. I need to actually do, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I need to actually do Ghoul Expulsion attempts throughout the day and try to get my contribution up again because the rewards are actually good. They're good. For those of you who haven't seen and you're on Android or whatever, not Android, iOS, as you could see, you get I thought you got an SR chest on one of the boss kills, but maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe it's one of the contribution kills, contribution rewards. Oh yeah, here it is. You get one there, and then you get another one there. 1350 is easy, and then you can see the contribution rewards for the end of the day. You get these boxes for either Arima, Kuroiwa, Shinohara, or Shachi. 3 of them if you hit first place, 2 if you hit second or third. And this is the same. You still get the boxes. They just replaced the Tatara shards with these. So that's pretty cool. And I'm going to do my 5 attempts to get contribution right quick, and then I will. Okay. So what I wanted to show you guys is, for Ghoul Expulsion, down here, they changed the contribution percentages. It's no longer, I think it was, what the hell was it? It was, I want to say, 45, 45, that's 90, 45, that's 135, and then 65 for 200. I think that's how it was. 3 SRs would give you 45 apiece, and then 1 SSR would give you 65. Now they just changed it to right now, at least now it's 4 SSRs. They give you 50% apiece. Second, contribution, they give you a lot more contribution. I'm pretty sure this first stage right here, I'm fairly certain it gave me 60. I didn't check, but this one gave me 75, this gave 90, this gave 105, and this gave 120. So it was going up 15 each time. I'm assuming this one's 60. This one used to, that's with 200% contribution. I'm pretty sure this one used to give 30 with 200% contribution, but I'm not positive. But I do know that I got a secret boss yesterday, twice actually, in my 5 attempts that I did, and I had 200% contribution, and they gave me 360 contribution points, where normally with 200% contribution they would only give 200 contribution points. So they made it easier to get contribution, but kind of harder because you need the SRs. Well, I guess it's not really hard now because everybody has SRs nowadays. SSRs nowadays. They're so easy to get, which is good. But So let's go look at the new character. Actually, let's see if there's anything else that I missed that I want to talk about. Oh, this new treasure rush just got added today. My opinion, it's fucking trash. Don't waste your time on it. There's some cool rewards like this, rare gems. These are pretty good, but I think you only get 2 of them, so no. Rare gems are good. And then this is obviously the main lure, that this and the crystal gem, and possibly this, because if you get the gem, you can come into the shop and you see if you get 6 gems, you could buy the new Arata gear, but you can't really see the stats on them, so it looks the same exact shit as raid gear, the champion gear as it is. So I don't know what the difference is. All it says is Arata or Arata on it, but it's the same fucking picture. Like I have these gloves, that's same thing, champion. I can't see the stats to actually compare, but overall this thing is trash. It's lucky wheel, lucky spin, whatever the fuck you want to call it, just named it treasure hunt. It's a waste of your diamonds. I would not spend your diamonds on this. Personally, I would never spend diamonds on RNG, period. And if you're wondering, oh, the VIP draw, that's RNG. Well, yeah, I don't pull on the VIP draw unless there's a festival going on and I need to spend the diamonds anyway, or if I have VIP tickets, but I will not spend diamonds on it unless those, what I just said. I did blow 20,000 diamonds when Mask came out and Wounded came out, I think it was, when the new SSRs came out, but I really wanted them because, like, he's my favorite character, especially Wounded. But overall, I wouldn't do it again. And yeah, just stay away from treasure hunt. It's fucking trash. It's just another bullshit event. This is the best part about the update. I'll go over this in a little bit. Actually, let me collect these and send these out. I'll show you. Just pay attention to what I'm doing later in the video, because these take hours to send out, so I want to set them up. But you can see what I'm doing right here, and then I'll talk about it when I get to treasure hunt. But first, we're gonna go over the characters. Okay, so let's move on to the characters. Alright, first off, I want to say that here's the 5 new characters. Most of them visually look pretty lame. She looks really lame in her Yukata. Kaneki looks super lame in his Yukata. Hinami looks okay, I guess, but she's like a little girl, so... Hirako, he looks fucking weird in a suit with his Quinke right there. And the only cool looking one is Amon, Dual Blade Amon. I've been waiting for this version of him. I knew he'd had to come at some point. So, yeah. And I do want to point out over here on the fame, if you haven't noticed, there's also a picture of a new Tsukiyama. Someone in my Discord, Heptic, posted a video with gameplay of him, and he looks pretty cool, but he is not in the game yet, just here in the fame section. But let's go over these characters and see, like, in depth what they do. So she is a DPS with a life, attack, life bond. So standard for the new SSRs. Okay, so her first skill is leap backwards and throw Kagune shards at enemies in the front line continuously, dealing damage 4 times. Pretty decent multiplier, 6-second cooldown. Sounds like a pretty good skill. Possibly. But if it only shoots like straight in front, then maybe not. Because a lot of game modes, Cochlea, even story mode, which, by the way, story mode got nerfed like crazy. And it's stupid easy again. I was stuck, I believe. I think I was stuck here for normal mode. It was either 34-2 or 35-2. One of those I was stuck on. And as you can see, I'm up to 40 right here. And it's not because I got hard. I just ran out of energy. And for hard, I was stuck at... it was the one that gave red potions at the end with Shinohara shards. 33 maybe? Yeah, this one. I was stuck at 33.4. Actually, I was able to 2-star this. I couldn't 3-star it. I couldn't do 34.1 at all, period. And as you can see, I'm up to 38, pretty much no problem. Again, I just ran out of stamina. But it's stupid easy again. It's a huge nerf to it, which is good because story mode shouldn't... story mode should be pretty easy. It's the story mode. There's no reason that it should be hard. It looks like I'm going to actually have to pull once today. I will get a Toka Shard guaranteed at least, and I need to pull for the daily. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a VIP ticket unless I top up, which I plan to, but I don't know if it's going to be today, so I might as well just pull one YOLO pull. By the way, I've been having the shittiest luck ever in VIPs. We're over 60 pulls in. Yeah, that's right, over 60 without a single SSR. I did get my second SSR ever from the diamond draw today. I would have taken Arima to try to get him to 5-star. I still want Kurtoiwa because I don't have him unlocked. Shinohara I would have taken to get up to 4-star. And last night I had 19 of these right here. Shachi was at 91 shards. And I was like, fuck it, I'll use him at 9. I'll use 9 on him, get him to 4-star, and get some fame off of him, which I did. And then, of course, I pull the diamond pull. I pull Shachi today. Got 80 shards for him, which I'm kind of pissed because, you know, the reason I used those 9 shards that could have went to Arima was to get him to 4-star for the fame. And I just happened to pull him in the diamond draw on a single pull, which kind of sucks because I've gotten jack shit in the VIP in over 60 fucking pulls. I don't like this new thing. This is one thing I don't like, the old time limited draw shit. I don't like it at all. I don't like the look of it, at least. I like the old one better. I do like these extra VIP draw rewards. The potions are nice. Could always use extra XP potions, but overall I just wish it was just like this one and this one, just, you know, the door and everything. But that's enough on that. So we finish the daily. Let me collect this before I forget, and let's go continue talking about Toka. Okay, her second skill: jump into the air and attack enemies in range 5 times. This skill can trigger a crit. That's a crit. That's a pretty wicked high multiplier. Goes up by 50 to the next level, pretty much. That's pretty good, and it hits. Oh, and it can crit. So if we use his skill, for example, which can also crit, the multiplier is not anywhere near as high as that. And I believe who else's can crit? I think it's maybe Masks, possibly. I don't remember who. Someone else has an ability that can crit, not just their auto attacks, but their actual ability. But so that skill sounds pretty good. Really high multiplier. It can crit. It hits 5 times as well. So that seems good. Got to see how it looks in action though, but overall on paper that's pretty good. And then finally her third skill: spins her body and releases Kalgune shards continuously, dealing damage to enemies within range 4 times. Each enemy hit increases her attack by 10% for 8 seconds. So that is really, really good right there. And the multiplier is really high. Now that, it does not say that there's a cap on there. It just says each enemy hit increases her attack by 10%, which that's quite a lot. If you go to Cochlea or like the story mode stage that I was stuck on, where you spawn in the middle and enemies just come from every direction around you, like just crazy around in a giant circle like that. If you hit like 10 enemies, that's 100% extra attack increase for 8 seconds, and it's got a 16-second cooldown. And with the almost 40% cooldown reduction on Noro that I have, you'd be able to have probably like an 80% uptime on that skill. And then her passive shortens the skill cooldown time by a certain percentage for all teammates. Now, this is just like a ghetto Noro. Like, it's pretty much a ghetto Noro. His does the same exact thing, but it also increases attack speed. So, and I believe even Rabbit does the same thing, the SR version. Yeah, hers even does the same as Noro's, so it's attack speed and skill cooldown. So it's a pretty weak passive. There's no need for it. I mean, everybody's gonna have Noro on the team for the most part, except for possibly in the new Tokyo mode, which we'll talk about. But still, I think she could have used a better passive. So let us check. Oh, look at this. She gets an ability at 4-star and 5-star. Did not notice that. So her 4-star, she gets crit jump. So she gets 16% crit to help this that ability crit more, that's pretty good. Jump into the air and attack enemies in range 5 times. This skill can trigger crit against targets with lower than 30% HP. So what? Jump into the air, so that is this one. This skill can trigger a crit. Yeah, it's talking about this skill. This skill can trigger crit against targets with lower than 30% HP left. That doesn't make sense to me. It can already crit right now, so her 4-star makes it so it can crit below 30% HP. I don't get it. That sounds pretty awful. It seems useless to put that. It doesn't do anything. It's just telling you that it doesn't tell you anything. The skill says it can crit, so I don't know what that's trying to tell you, but okay, let's check her 5-star. Shortens the skill cooldown time by a certain percentage for all teammates. Okay, when normal or skill attacks trigger a crit, reduce all skills cooldown time by 0.5 seconds for all teammates. Okay, that is actually pretty good. When a normal or skill attack triggers a crit, reduce. Okay, but if it only works for her when she crits, it's not as good as I thought, but it's still pretty good. I still don't really see a need for her passive because of Noro. I mean, it is nice, but with Noro, his first skill has like a 3-second cooldown as it is. Actually, almost all characters do, because their first skills seem to always be 6 seconds, and then 12 seconds, and then 16 seconds. So maybe to help out Noro's third skill come up faster, but I mean, on paper, I'd just say she's alright. She's got really high multipliers, so I mean, and all of her attacks hit multiple times. 4 times on her first skill, 5 times on 5 times on her second skill, and 4 times on her third skill, with fairly high multipliers. So it looks like she has the potential to put out damage, but that's pretty much all I see her doing is pure damage. Is she going to do more damage than Noro? I doubt it, because I don't think anybody will be taking Noro down anytime soon. And this passive is kind of useless, in my opinion. It's okay, especially a 5-star. It's even better, but it's kind of unnecessary, is more the word. But overall, she could be a good character depending on how her skills work and depending how much damage she puts out. I want to get her to try her out. I am going to be farming her in the new mode, hopefully, to get her. By the way, we got 2 new tanks, which is cool. We got 2 new tanks, 2 new DPS, and 1 new support. So let us check out the other DPS first, which is Take Hirako. Okay, so he's got a life bond, a attack bond, attack, and life. Alright, so his first skill is slash enemies in the front sector 3 times and slow the target's hit, reducing their movement speed by 60% for 4 seconds. That is a very low multiplier for an SSR. And it says it only hits 3 times, where Toka's hit 4, 5, and 4 times with really high multipliers. But Toka's first skill sounds like it just hits in a straight line, where Hirako's is going to be in a slashing motion in front of him, sounds better. At least I'd rather have the slash over the straight line, but the multiplier is very, very low, so not that good of a skill in my opinion, but we'll have to see how the gameplay works. Second skill, attack enemies around the caster, remove the target's buffs, and increase the caster's damage by 50% for 6 seconds. That seems very, very good. Wow. He might be a good Noro counter. He's got the life and the life to maybe tank a hit from Noro, and with this ability he can strip Noro's third skill buff off, and not only that, he can increase his own damage by 50% for 6 seconds, and it's got a pretty decent multiplier too. So I want to say he could be a very good counter to Yamori as well, because his third skill, where he makes it so that all the damage dealt to him will heal him instead of harming him. If that counts as a buff, man, that would make Yamori almost useless. Like, literally useless. Of course, it would all come down to the AI, and the AI is never really reliable. But in manual control, in real-time PvP or anything, or I don't know, mostly that, and potentially if the AI is decent in Arena, he could literally make Yamori useless. Because that's what makes Yamori so good in Arena, is that third skill. It gives him not only an immunity for like 4 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever, but it heals him back to full. Noro, he'll be stripping off Noro's buff as well, which is what makes Noro so good. Yeah, Noro's first skill still hits decently hard without the buff, but the buff is what makes him really good. So that is a very, very meta skill right there. That is very, very good. Yeah, that's an awesome skill. Okay, his third skill launches an attack with all his strength, stunning the slowed enemies for 3 seconds. So you have to hit them with the first skill first to slow them, and then you use a third skill to stun them for 3 seconds. It's got a good multiplier, and it's got a very, very high multiplier and very, very good multiplier when you upgrade it. So it starts at 840%, and then when you upgrade it to the next level, it's going to be at a whopping 840%. That's got to be a typo or something, but that's an okay skill. The 3 second stun is pretty good, especially for a DPS, but it's pretty long cooldown. 16 seconds minus, I don't know, about 40%. That's like, what, 10 seconds? 9-10 seconds, something like that. So they'll be stunned for about 33% of the time when you're fighting him, which I guess isn't all around, that's not too bad, but I don't know. I'd say it's a decent skill. This one is meta right here, so hopefully this skill can carry him. And then his passive, Poker Face, receive a layer of Poker Face effect for each attack received, up to 5 layers, increasing common strikes damage for 5 seconds. So again, you can see that this one has a really high multiplier and goes up very high. Common strikes damage. Oh, okay, that's his third skill. So receive a layer of Poker Face effect for each attack received, and then when he gets 5 of them, it increases Poker Strikes, common strikes damage. So it's going to go up from an 840% multiplier. This is like when it's maxed out. I'm guessing at level 9 it's going to be 840%, which is really, really good. And then it's going to be at 840% as well with his passive. So really, I can't really even judge this character because that's all fucked up with the modifiers. And his passive, it looks like his passive revolves around the third skill, and I don't know, there's just You use this one into this one, and then maybe strip their buffs too while you're at it, or strip their buffs first, then stun them, and then, or slow them, then stun them. But it looks like a lot revolves around this third skill, and without the multiplier on this and this, I can't really tell you what I think of them. But I guess the kit is decent. It has a lot of potential with the second skill being in there, so thumbs up for that. But I gotta see what's up with the multipliers. So his fifth 5-star ability is launches an attack with all his strength. Okay, after killing an enemy with Common Strike, all skills cooldown time will be reduced by 50%. Oh, here's the multiplier. Well, actually, this isn't the actual multiplier, but when you get him to 5-star, it'll even bump up the damage on this base one, like up another 200%. So this will have a 1050 base multiplier at 5-star, which is very high, and it'll just go up higher and higher. So it looks like his whole kit revolves around this third skill. But that 5-star passive right there makes it seem like he'll be good in the new game mode. Very good in the new game mode, to be honest, because from the looks of the little help screen that I read, it looks like a lot of it's going to be coming down to buffs and debuffs and all that in the harder stages. So he might be meta for that new mode. Arena and PvP, I don't think that's a very good passive. Again, it's just cooldown time, but he has to get a kill for it. Looks like this is a PvE character, and potentially a very strong one at that. Which is the opposite of half of the newer, half of the second batch of characters. Owl is much more of a PvP character in my opinion, but he does have good damage for PvE as well. But I still think he shines more in PvP. Half Kakuja Kaneki is pretty garbage in PvE, but he's very good in PvP. And Wounded, I'll just pretend he doesn't exist, or I'll get sad. And Mask is, I guess, he's more of a PvE, but he's a support. So, I mean, this guy looks like he could potentially be a PvE monster in the new, specifically the new game mode. So I got my eye on him. I do. I'm going to watch him and hopefully get him at some point and test him out. Sucks that he's the Rinkaku red type, because Rinkaku, like half of my team. This is my team. Let me go to my team to show you what my actual team is. Rinkaku. Half of them are all red Rinkaku, so that's kind of shitty. But okay, let's move on to let's do Hinami next, and then we'll save the tanks for last. So from what I skimmed over her, she just looks like a straight upgrade to the SR version of herself. But let's check. We got a life bond, a attack bond, and a life bond. Why does she have attack bonds as a support? I don't really get it. Life, yeah. Not really sure why she has 2 attack bonds and 2 life ones. She's a support character, so she should have at the very least 3 life bonds and maybe 1 attack one, but I'd probably prefer just straight up 4 life ones, to be honest. But let's check her skills. Okay, first skill, let's play. Smash the Kagune below towards the enemy in the front sector to launch 4 consecutive quick attacks, reducing the hit target's movement speed by 60%. That's a fairly high multiplier for a support, 537%. Yeah, that's very, very high compared to this one. Like, none of these ones come even close. Let me read what this passive does. Yeah, okay. So that's a really high multiplier for a support character, and it hits 4 times, and it slows them. So that's a pretty good skill right there. Okay, the second one, reach out the Kagune quickly to pull the enemy in an area to your front, causing damage and stunning him for 3 seconds. So it'll like suck enemies in and then stun them, kind of like Owl's third skill when he's at 5-star, which really good skill right there. That's very good for PvP. It's a 3-second stun. I think Half Cockroach has a 5-second stun. It doesn't say, I don't think. Maybe Owl does. Nope, it doesn't say. I want to say it's 5 seconds for them, but I'm not sure. Let's check how much her one is for. It just says a short time right here, so I don't know which one's better, but they both have a stun. That's why I said this one just looks like an upgrade to her, because she's an SSR, so her stats are going to be higher as it is. Like her base stats are just going to be higher than the other Hinami. But a 3-second stun with a 12-second cooldown, and roughly 7-second cooldown, something like that. So she can have almost a 50% uptime on her stun, which is, that's really good. Again, with the crazy high multiplier for her support. I don't know what's up with that. I'm just gonna have to continue to think what I always think with the multipliers, and they're just fucking wrong. Because that doesn't make sense why a support should have that high multipliers. But let's see, a third skill. Spin the body and spread the Kagune after sweeping it towards an enemy in a large area around the caster, leaving one area on the ground where the enemy's attack is reduced by 20%. So that's pretty cool right there. It doesn't say how long that lasts, and again, third time, stupid high multiplier for a support character, but that's pretty good. That's like a better version of, not better, but that's kind of like a version of his 5-star ability, where it reduces the attack of surrounding enemies by 14% or 13.5%, sorry, but his is always going to be up passively, where this one, it doesn't say how long, but it doesn't say how long the cooldown is either. But that's pretty good. The AIs are stupid, so they won't move out of it. They'll just stand in it. I like that. She's got the stun that her other counterpart has. She has this now to reduce the enemy's attack by 20%. So far I'd say that's better. And now her passive, add an HP absorption aura that absorbs HP equal to a percentage of damage dealt for all teammates. That sounds identical to her other passive, but it's worded differently. This one says, while attacking, Hinami and her allies will recover HP equal to damage dealt plus the caster's HP absorption rate of damage dealt. So, but hers is at 19% and it goes up 0.5% each level. And it's at level 9 and it's only at 19%. Where if you look at my Yamari, who has the same one, his is at level 4 and it's already way higher. His goes up 1.5% per level up. So you're going to heal a lot more with Yamari, but hers is a 16% at level 1 and goes up 1% each, which it'll be higher than the other Hinamis at like level 3 or 4 or something like that. I don't know what's up with the funky wording. To me, that sounds exactly like the same fucking passive as the other Hinami, which is why I say that this one is a better version. She's got the healing passive. Yeah, it says for all teammates. So she's got the healing passive that the other one has. At least I'm pretty sure. She's got this to reduce enemies' attack by 20%, which is great. And then she's got a stun, just like the other one. And the reason that the other one's so good is because she's got a stun and she's got that passive heal. And then at 5 stars, she gives crit to the team as well. I think this one's missing the crit, but let's check out. Oh, she's got another 4% one and a 4-star and a 5-star. So reach out the Kagune quickly to pull the enemy in an area to your front, causing damage and stunning him for 3 seconds. Every enemy hit by this skill increases all allies' crit rate by 5%. There's the crit. It could be even way more than 5%. That's really high if it's 5% per hit per character. Like, let me just show you something real quick. My Kaya is pretty decked out, as you can see. She's got level 60 red red whatever it's called on, another level 60 red one on, all this gear. And if we go look at her gems, she's got not like the best gems, but over here she's got a couple mythic ones, or epic ones, sorry. But I do have this one over here at level 100 that gives an extra 3.29% crit, and that's a level 100 gem. And with all that being said, if we look at her crit rate, which is the highest out of all my characters by a good margin, by about 5%, she's at 34.51% crit. So for the new Hinami to hit six enemies with the 4-star, her 4-star ability, that'll give an extra 60% crit to Kaya for 6 seconds, I want to say. It doesn't say, unless it's only 3 seconds, just like the stun. But it doesn't matter. That's really good. It's about roughly a 7-second cooldown. Like I said, this is on her stun ability, not her passive. So I think that's very good. She's even got the crit rate. It's not going to be passive like the other ones, but I think overall this one might be more, or it might equal out to be about the same. But then her 5-star ability, why does she get attack for her 5-star ability? It doesn't make sense. Add an HP absorption aura that absorbs HP equal to the percentage of damage dealt for all teammates, removing buffs from the target hit by Hinami's skill. What skill? By what skill? Any skill? If any skill removes buffs from the target, but for if like I said, if she can remove any buffs from any of her skills, my god, she's going to be a monster in arena and in the new game mode. So far I think she's looking to be the best character that we've looked at so far, by far. Like she's got a really good kit. We'll have to see how it plays out, but her kit is really, really good, in my opinion. So let's check out this character. I was so excited when I read there was a new Kaneki, and then I seen how lame he looked, and I'm like, yeah, okay, never mind. He's a tank, which is kind of surprising, but let's check out what he does. Summer's Greeting. Appear in front of the target and stab the target with the Kagune 6 times, taunting the target for 4 seconds. So that's pretty awesome if that's a teleport. If it'll teleport you in front of the target, hit them 6 times with a wicked high multiplier as a tank, and stun them, or sorry, taunt them for 4 seconds. That's awesome. That's a really, really good tank skill. You need a taunt on a target. Sounds like it's a single target taunt, but it's got a teleport. That's pretty sick. And 6 times with the crazy multiplier. Let me check out his bonds real quick. Life, attack, attack, life. What is up with these? Just like, let's just fucking baseline these new bonds. We'll just put a life 30%, 2 attacks 20%, and then we'll just throw in the new 40% life on every single fucking character. Fuck tanks, fuck supports. They don't need life. They just need straight up attack. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then fuck DPS. They don't need straight up attack. They need some life in there. I don't like the new bonds on any of the new characters from this round or the first round. They're pretty shit. This is really fucked up right here that Tsukiyama is even a bond on here when he's not even out. Yeah. I'm not liking the bonds on any of these new characters. But his second skill, erect the Kagune behind the body and then quickly smash forward one by one. Pretty lame skill for a tank. It doesn't do anything, doesn't shield, doesn't heal, doesn't taunt, doesn't stun, doesn't slow, doesn't do anything. Just has a really crazy multiplier, so that's a pretty lame skill. This skill, turn over the body in the air and fall to the ground after jumping. During the floating period, after spreading the Kagune, fall to the ground with the Kagune, increasing the caster's dodge rate by 20% with a stupid high multiplier again. 20% dodge on tank, pretty good. But overall, from his 3 skills, the only thing that's actually, like, the reason you bring a tank is to protect your team. The only thing that he has is that taunt. Yeah, it's a good taunt. It'll be up Actually, it'll be up all the time, 24/7, because it lasts for 4 seconds. And with Noro's 40% skill cooldown, or anybody's skill cooldown, it'll be less than a 4-second. It'll be roughly about a 3-second cooldown, so it'll be up the whole time. But it only sounds like it hits one target, so he can only taunt one target, unlike Arima's shield, where it taunts. I thought it was that skill that taunts. One of these skills taunt. I'm pretty sure. I know he has a fucking taunt. Well, in defensive form, movements will be reduced. It doesn't say that he has a taunt, but he definitely has a fucking taunt. Definitely has a taunt. Playing him in PvP, if anybody uses this skill, your character will just turn around and run back to him. Well, with the lag, a lot of the times you'll be running away, like you didn't get hit by it, and then all of a sudden turn around when the skill's almost over. But my point is, that shield definitely has a fucking taunt, and in CaLLMeDeEce and story mode, it's an AoE taunt. I've watched all the enemies around him just come and swoop in around him when he uses a skill. I don't know why it doesn't say taunt, but it 100% has a taunt. So he's got an AoE taunt. I know Kori Ui has a taunt. I don't know if it's AoE or not. Dash forward taunt enemies in a line. So yeah, it taunts enemies in a line. So again, that could be a multi-target taunt. This one could be a multi-target taunt too, but from the wording, it's only a single target taunt. And it increases his dodge rate. Cool. He's going to be tanky because he's a tank. He needs to do something to protect the team. So unless he has a really good passive and 4 and 5 star skills, which apparently is a thing now, so far he's pretty lame, but we'll see. For every 3 skills used, add a skill immune shield for all teammates for 100%. Wait, why does it say duration 100%? Is it duration 100% or is it damage absorption 100%? I don't know, but that's pretty good. Like that's pretty good. That's kind of the skill immune shield. I'm thinking that's the same shit as his. Add a shield to nearby enemies. This one just says shield. It doesn't say skill immune, but I'm gonna assume that skill immune is everything that's not an auto attack. So it doesn't sound that good in story for CaLLMeDeEce because most enemies are just normal enemies that just auto attack. But if auto attacks do count as a skill, that's pretty good. At least it you know, helps the team out. It'll take you 3 skills, but that won't take too long. It won't be up 24/7 like 5-star CaLLMeDeEce does, but it's pretty good. Okay, so it's 4-star. Man, if you're just reading this guy's skills, you could just some dirty talk. Erect the Kagune and fucking during the floating period after spreading the Kagune. God, they fucking just had to pick this type of wording, huh? At least he gets life at 4-star and 5-star. Okay, so erect the Kagune, blah blah blah. When the target is hit, stun him for 3 seconds. What? Does it always stun, or is that new? Oh, so it'll put a stun on the target. It'll stun the target for 3 seconds and reduce his crit rate by 15%. If that lasts for 3 seconds, then if that crit rate reduction lasts for 3 seconds, that is 100% fucking useless because they'll be stunned for 3 seconds anyway. So they're not going to be critting you because they're not going to be hitting you because they're stunned. So doesn't specifically state the duration of that. So let's just pretend that crit rate thing doesn't exist. But the stun on his second skill, that's actually very good. That's very good, making him a much better character. But again, just like with the older characters, you need to get them to 4/5-star for them to be usable. Because this skill is just terrible by itself. It doesn't do anything. But once you get him to 4-star, it'll put a stun on the target. So he has a taunt for 4 seconds and a 3-second stun. That's good. Plus the shields. Okay, and then At 5-star, when they are mortally wounded, add an unyielding buff that lasts for 8 seconds. During this period, they will not die. Wow. That's a 60-second cooldown, but for 8 seconds? That is... that is this guy's 5-star passive. When you suffer a lethal damage, you'll be immune to all damage for 5 seconds. See, it only lasts for 5 seconds. Where this new Kaneki will put it on the target for 8 seconds. And if you have a Hinami on there and shit to heal... Ooh-wee, this guy started out really shitty, but... he looks pretty boss. Just looking at this now, if you get this guy to 5-star, I'd have to say that he is the second best tank in the game. Maybe even the first. No, don't kill me. I know Arima is still really good, but not all. I'm not gonna like just saying all that he gives is a shield to everybody on the team. That's not really true. He does give a shield to everybody on the team. He has a stun. This right here does not say, again, it doesn't say that it has a stun, but it definitely has a stun. An AoE stun. Well, it's in a straight line, but depending on how many people you hit, it can hit more than one person. This has a taunt, and again, doesn't say it. And this has a movement slow on it. It reduces movement speed by like 60% or something. Again, doesn't say it. So he's got all types of CC plus a taunt. And he puts shields on the target at 5-star. For every single ability he uses, you're going to have shields up the whole time. Whereas this guy has the stun, same thing. Or he has the stun, just like Arima. He has the shield, or the taunt, just like Arima. Hopefully this is an AoE taunt, so they'll be definitely even on the playing field right there. And then he has dodge rate to help protect himself, where Arima has a heal on his taunt. Which is probably better than the dodge rate, because you can always heal back the damage, but that's for himself. This dodge rate is for himself. But for the team aspect, every 3 skills, the whole team gets a skill immune shield. Now if that's for all damage, I think this guy will be better, because just to use 3 skills, that's 3 seconds right there. Like, say you're starting the game, that uses all of them, right? So let's just assume that there's like a 1 second global cooldown. When you use a skill, you can't use another skill for about 1 second or so, because that's how long the animations take, roughly. So you use this, and then it goes on cooldown, and then a second later you're using this, and then this, and then boom, you got your shield up, which absorbs, I don't know how much, but it'll absorb. Does it say how long it lasts, the shield? Wait, it's on this. It doesn't say how long the shield lasts, but then by the time you use your 3rd skill, your 1st skill's back up again, and then by the time you use that, you got like a second or 2 left on this one, and then by the time you use that, back to the first one. And like as you can see, this guy can have the shields up almost 24/7, just like Arima. But then that icing on the cake right there is that fucking right there 8 seconds of immunity. That is awesome, man. That is so good. I can't tell you how many times in CaLLMeDeEce that I get just fucking gibbed on. I'm on floor 85, I think, and even floors before this, before I started leveling up. But like, especially the boss floors, where I'll have to manually control Arima to rush in, to dash them, to stun them right away. And because if I don't, and even sometimes if I don't hit them all perfectly and get them all grouped up, just one of their attacks will just instantly give my fucking Noro, and boom, he's dead. 1 second flat. Where this would prevent that. And the dash right here, he's got the dash. Well, he's got the teleport to get to the target to close in before my Noro can run in. So let's just say I gotta see how this guy plays out, but just looking at him and Arima are gonna go toe to toe for the best tank in the game. Man, this guy he's got everything pretty much besides a heal. He's got it all. He's got everything you want as a tank. And let's check out the only one that looks visually appealing to me, my man Amon. Kind of surprised he's a tank with dual blades. Doesn't really make sense, you know. like at all. Let me whip out these fucking dual blades. The whole reason that he separates them both like that is to fight the Bin brothers, I'm pretty sure. So he separates them to be able to hit them both at the same time. So I don't get why he's tanking, but should totally be DPS. But let's check his bonds again. He's got the shitty bonds like usual. Alright, I'm excited to see this guy. I don't think I looked at his skill at all. Or maybe I glanced at him and it was super confusing. Just glancing at least, so I didn't really read it. But let's see. Charge forward. Draw enemies on the path to the front of Amon. What the fuck? And taunt the enemies around Amon when reaching the destination, lasting for 5 seconds. Wait. He charges forward. He draws enemies, so he taunts them pretty much. I don't know why it says draws enemies on the path to the front of Amon. Oh. He taunts them and then they walk around and get to the front of him, I think. I don't know, but a 5-second taunt on a 3-second cooldown. Whoo, he'll be able to have everything taunted 24/7. That is sexy. Wow, that's good. Really high multiplier again. Okay. Slash enemies in front of Amon quickly. Targets taunted will receive an extra damage equal to 10% of Amon's HP with a stupid high multiplier. Not really what I want to see on a tank. I don't really care for the extra damage. So again, just like Kaneki before he's at 4 or 5 stars, that move's whack. Unnecessary garbage. Please 4-star and 5-star abilities buff that move because it's trash right now. Okay, and then struggle. Permanent passive effect. Avoid control status. So he can't be CC'd at all? What? Can't be taunted, can't be stunned? Unless the control status just means like taunted, but I'm assuming they mean avoid crowd control status, which if that's what they do mean, that means he can't be stunned, he can't be taunted, he can't be slowed, he can't be fucking anything. That's crazy good right there. Active effect. The caster will lose the avoid control effect after activating this skill. This effect that clears all debuffs for the caster and reduces damage received. Wait. Hold on. That's why I gotta process this. The caster will lose the avoid control effect. Okay, so he activates this ability. He loses the permanent crowd control status effect, avoiding it. Okay. And then this effect, after activating this effect, and then this effect clears all debuffs from him and reduces damage received by 8 seconds. He can almost have that damage reduction up the whole time. That's a flat 30% damage reduction because there will be like 1 second that he doesn't have it. And let's see, Kurtoiwa is really tanky because of the damage reduction. So he has a lot right there. That's like 40% or something, and then his passive gives like an extra 10%. But so he's got like 50% damage reduction at all times, give or take. Where this, it goes up 2% per skill, so it'll be about 45% at level 10, something like that. No, it'll be at level 10. It'll be at, well, yeah, it'll be at 50%, which is crazy. And it removes debuffs. I don't know what debuffs they could be talking about, especially if he normally avoids them. Like if he can't be stunned, he can't be slowed. Like, I don't know if that's what that means. Then I don't get why this would clear them. That doesn't really make sense. I have to see this guy in action because I don't get that at all. If somebody does understand it better than me, let me know down in the comments. And then his passive, when normal attacks trigger a crit, it will add a splash effect, dealing damage by a percentage. That's trash. Why the fuck would I want my tank to do AoE damage on his autos when they crit? Like, what? Man, this guy was looking good until that. That's garbage. Please, 4-star, 5-star skill, save him. Okay, he doesn't have a 4-star skill, so that's garbage. And then this effect clears all debuffs for the caster, reduces damage received by 50%. What? Say what? So is it 50% plus the 30%? Or is it just a flat 50% and then the leveling up the skill doesn't do anything anymore? And increases crit rate by 15% for, so whatever, you're gonna buff his crit. But who cares? Like, I don't know. This is a tank. He doesn't really need to be doing damage. If you're bringing a tank, you're bringing him for a reason. Otherwise, you're just gonna bring 3 DPS or 2 DPS and a support to heal. Something like that. Like, you bring the tanks for the hard missions because you need them to tank, not to deal damage. Honestly, just his kit. He's one of the worst tanks in the game, which really sucks. Kuroiwa is better because he's stupid tanky, which I guess this guy can be too, but Kuroiwa has... I don't even know what Kuroiwa has because I never, like, that does damage. Who cares about that? He's got a taunt and reduces their attack speed by 50% and increases his damage reduction and share damage received for teammates for 5 seconds. So that's really good. He can split the damage that his teammates are taking by 30%. So, I mean, he's a good team character. And then Shinohara, I think, just stuns like crazy. He might have some more to him, I'm not really sure. He gets a flat 20% damage reduction for the team at 5-star. Reduces their attack speed by 30%. That's trash. And then he can block damage, immune to skill damage for 5 seconds. Yeah, and then his passive just stuns like crazy, so I don't know. This guy on paper just doesn't look that good. It looks like they can't tell if he wants to be a tank or if he wants to be a support. I mean a DPS. It's like a hybrid of both, which no, I don't see it. Okay, if I had to rate these guys in order, I mean, this is just on paper, obviously. I haven't seen gameplay of any of them, but I would definitely have to go with Kaneki or Hinami as number 1 and 2. Flip-flop them. They're both really, really good. And then either Toka or Hirako. It depends on that ability of Hirako's that we talked about. His, this skill. If that removes, like, Yamari buffs and stuff. If that does do that, then I would say Hirako. Whoops. I would say Hirako for sure, and then Toka, and then Amon. But if not, then probably Toka, and then Hirako, and then Amon. Yeah, they're pretty solid characters overall for the most part. Besides Amon, I was pretty impressed with most of them. This video is stupid long, so I am not going to go over Tokyo Search today. I will go over it in the next video, though. I will give you... Ooh, look at that. I will give you one tip for this mode that I cannot find in-game anywhere. I stickied it in my Discord for people that do know, but in case you're not in the Discord and you need help for these new colors right here that we were talking about earlier, the red, the blue, the yellow, and the green, those are pretty important, at least in the new Tokyo Search mode. At least they tell you that they are, because one, like, it's kind of like a rock paper scissors thing, like with other games, like one counters the other. There's like a circle, one counters this one, then this one counters this one, and this one counters this one, and you know, it's like that in a circle. But mainly there's some missions like 1.5 win with Rinkaku heroes only. So if you didn't read the manga, or even if you did read the manga, that might be confusing as all hell, The only reason that I knew Rinkaku is because I know Kaneki has a Rinkaku. So I was positive on that. That's the only reason I knew. The rest of them I had to double check to make sure. But blue, so blue, which is Arima's, is Kokaku. So if it says win using only Kokaku or win without using Kokaku, they are referring to blue. If it says Ukaku, they are referring to green. I guess an easier way to do it, Ukaku, the upper back would be green. I guess, no, that doesn't really make sense, but Ukaku is green, red is Rinkaku. Easiest way to remember it for me was Kaneki, the main character, has a Rinkaku. Just look at any version of Kaneki and you will see that they are all red. These are Kagune types, by the way. That's what they're referring to. So like the types refer to where they are on their back, either down by their lower hips, their like lower back, their upper back, or their shoulder area. And so Rinkaku is red, and finally yellow is Bikaku. In case you're wondering, Bikaku is the lowest hip area. Rinkaku is above it in the lower back area. Blue is Kokaku is the, let me see if I can find a better blue, is your upper back, and then Ukaku is your upper shoulder area. I know you can't really tell for this. This kind of looks the same as what's his name's Gourmets. They kind of look like they're both coming from the same area. Same with his. But the reason that I'm able to know for sure is like that's better, is because I mean obviously Toka and Ayato's come from the highest. They got like shoulders. I mean they got wings, so it's obvious that they have the highest ones just because they're wings and shit. That one looks slightly better, slightly higher. And then I can't really find a good blue one that shows that doesn't look like it's in the same area. Yeah, all the blue ones are fucking Quinke users, and you can't really tell with them. Most of them, besides Tsukiyama and Naki. I don't see anyone else that has blue. That's a Kagune user. What the fuck is that? Why does he have a gun? What does that mean? He just doesn't have anything? What? I just noticed that right now. That's weird. Yeah. So we'll go over the Tokyo search in the new in the next video. Jesus Christ. In the next video. Let me check the news to see if there's anything else that I missed. Mystic Arata set, Mythic Gems, Champion Arata set, Tokyo search, good. Faction search, don't know what that is. Treasure Rush, don't know what that is. And then yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part. That's the new characters. For now, just go play Tokyo search. Just do the main stories. Do as much as you can, because this is a thing that is going to reset weekly. You get some pretty awesome rewards. As you can see, leveling up gets you some Toka shards. And then if you get high enough in the shop, you can buy some more Toka shards or RC cells, or you can buy some pretty cool stuff. Wow, that cost, I was gonna say that's a really good deal right there, 30 potions, but that cost a shitload of fucking SP things. So not really that much of a good deal anymore. The rare gems seem like a decent deal though. 10 of them for 1,500 or 20 of them for 3,000, depending on how far it is. Like that's pretty good. That's 5 and 10 days worth of rare gems. Yeah, stay away from this bullshit. Have fun with the new Tokyo search for now. I will do a video explaining it more in depth and show you guys my progress on it. Oh right, there was a winner from the last video. There was one winner, the only one that really tried. Matthias Visioli. Hop in my Discord and I will give you a code. He wrote, Yu Yu Hakusho is pretty good, from Hunter x Hunter creator Tagashi? I can't think. It's one of those two. Lazy ass man needs to finish the Hunter x Hunter manga. Bakuman is a shonen about mangakas. That one is pretty alternative. Unfortunately, I've seen all three of them, including Hunter x Hunter, and they're all fucking awesome. I wish some other people had given me some good obscure ones. Bakuman was a good choice, though. I would have liked it if I hadn't seen it. The only reason I did see it was because I know that the creators of Death Note created it together, and I am pumped for them to hopefully eventually get an anime for the new one that they're working on together. They made Death Note, they made Bakuman, and they're working on a new one called Platinum End. Sounds almost identical to Mirai Nikki, if you've seen that, but it's from the two geniuses, so I'm excited for it. I'll just do the same question. If you want another code on the next video, just give me some more anime or manga to read. Something kind of like what he said. Those were both pretty good. Yu Yu Hakusho was very old, so that was a pretty good pick. And Bakuman is not your typical shonen. I had seen both of them, but they were still good obscure picks for the most part. So that's the same question. I really want a good anime to watch. Yeah. Other than that, I'll see you guys next video. It'll be about Tokyo Search, and don't forget to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, leave me some comments, especially about the manga and anime, and join my Discord. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.